In the quiet, mist-laden fields of medieval England, where the sun seemed to rise reluctantly over rolling hills and ancient forests, there existed a village named Woolpit. It was an unremarkable place by most accounts, its people tending their crops, minding their livestock, and living lives as predictable as the turning seasons. But one autumn day in the 12th century, something extraordinary happened that would echo through history, sparking debates between folklore and science for centuries to come. It began with whispers among the harvesters, a group of reapers, bent low over golden wheat stalks near the edge of the forest, noticed two figures emerging from a wolf pit, a deep ditch used to trap wolves that roamed the countryside. At first glance, they appeared human, but closer inspection revealed something unsettling. Their skin was green, not pale or sickly, but vividly, impossibly green, like freshly sprouted leaves under spring rain. The children, a boy and a girl, stood trembling, clutching each other tightly. Their clothes were strange, made of fabrics no one recognized, and when they spoke, it was in a language unlike any heard before. The villagers, both frightened and curious, brought the children to Sir Richard de Caen, the local landowner. He took them into his home, feeding them bread and meat, but the children refused to eat anything until someone offered them raw beans. They devoured these hungrily, eating only the insides and discarding the pods. Over time, their diet expanded, and their green hue gradually faded to a more natural tone. Yet even as their physical appearance changed, their origins remained shrouded in mystery. The girl, who adapted more quickly than her brother, eventually learned enough English to tell fragments of their story. She claimed they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a realm where everything, the sky, the fields, the very air, was bathed in perpetual twilight. There, she said, they lived happily until one day, while tending their family's flocks, they followed the sound of bells echoing through the woods. Drawn irresistibly forward, they stumbled into a cavern filled with light. When they emerged on the other side, they found themselves in Woolpit, surrounded by strangers. Her words sparked wonder and fear in equal measure. Some believed the children were refugees from another world, perhaps even another dimension. Others thought them victims of some divine miracle or curse. Still others dismissed the tale entirely, chalking it up to superstition or exaggeration. As the boy grew weaker and eventually succumbed to illness, the girl continued to live among the villagers, eventually marrying and disappearing into obscurity. Centuries later, historians and scientists have revisited the legend of the Green Children, attempting to unravel its mysteries. One theory suggests they may have suffered from chlorosis, a rare condition caused by malnutrition that can give the skin a greenish tint. This explanation fits neatly within the bounds of medical knowledge, but struggles to account for their peculiar clothing, unfamiliar language, and fantastical claims about St. Martin's Land. Others propose they were survivors of a displaced community, possibly Flemish immigrants fleeing persecution during King Stephen's reign. Their green coloration could have been exaggerated over time, while their descriptions of twilight might refer to dense fog or heavy cloud cover common in East Anglia. However, this interpretation fails to explain why they spoke an unknown tongue or how they ended up in a wolf pit far from any known settlement. More speculative theories abound. Could the children have been extraterrestrials, visitors from another planet whose biology differed radically from ours? Or perhaps they hailed from a parallel universe, slipping through a rift in space-time, only to find themselves stranded in medieval England. These ideas capture the imagination, but lack concrete evidence, relying instead on leaps of faith or fantasy. What remains undeniable is the enduring power of the story itself. Whether rooted in fact or fiction, the tale of the Green Children speaks to humanity's eternal fascination with the unknown. In a world governed by routine and reason, we yearn for glimpses of the extraordinary, for reminders that reality is stranger and richer than we often dare to imagine. Today, the village of Woolpit stands much as it did in the Middle Ages, its name forever linked to the enigmatic pair who once wandered out of the woods. Visitors still peer into the old wolf pits, now overgrown with weeds, half expecting to see flashes of green amidst the shadows. And though scholars continue to debate whether the Green Children belong to folklore or forgotten history, one truth endures: Sometimes the line between myth and reality blurs so completely that we are left wondering, not what is possible, but what might be.